Hi, I'm Lizzy from 7 and All, and today I'm going to show you my everyday go-to look when I'm in a humid climate. I'm in a humid climate quite a lot because we do a lot of traveling in Asia and we live in a place that has a humid environment, so this is my everyday go-to kind of look. When I am doing makeup, especially for a humid type situation, things that I look for is something that's going to be long lasting, but also something that fits my personality, which is going to be not too cakey and a little bit more natural. And also throughout the day, as things are breaking down, they break down in a really nice, even, natural way. So the first thing that we're gonna do is foundation. And what I'm going to be using today is the Makeup Forever Water Blend Foundation. And this is a super interesting foundation to me. In a lot of ways, I don't like it. It's hard to use, but it does give a really nice look to the skin. So the first reason I don't like it is sometimes when you squirt it out of the pump, some of it has already kind of congealed and gotten gloopy, and it really should be very, very watery. And so you put that on the skin, and it's very, very light coverage once you kind of spread it out. It's super watery, and when you put it on at first, it's very not tacky, and you just rub it, and as you rub, you can feel it start to like suction onto your face. And once you feel that tug start to happen, that's when I start to pat. And I start to pat because I want to put a little bit more of the product on my face to get a little bit of coverage. Now, it doesn't really look like I've done a lot. I think you can see from this side of my face to this side of my face, it doesn't look like much. But you can build up this foundation, and it's a great base for if you want to put foundation or concealer on top. So I'm going to continue to put this all over my face, probably do 2 layers of it, and then go in with concealer. This seriously is like a very weird foundation. Like when you put it, I don't like putting on foundation with my hands. I usually do a beauty blender, or even a brush, but this like doesn't work any other way. But it's waterproof, which I think is good.
I didn't realize that from the description.
Yeah, because it says water blend, which to me doesn't make sense. A lot of people compare this foundation to the MAC Face and Body. So once I have this used up, I think I might try that one because I do like this, but I'm not sure if it's really my favorite. So it's a little bit of a pain because it takes a long time to really get this foundation where you want it to be sometimes. But in the end, it leaves a very nice glow, a super nice glow to the skin. And the coverage that you do get will last. Make sure to blend down the neck. A lot of people compare this foundation to the MAC Face and Body. So once I have this used up, I think I might try that one because I do like this, but I'm not sure if it's really my favorite. So it's a little bit of a pain because it takes a long time to really get this foundation where you want it to be sometimes. But in the end, it leaves a very nice glow, a super nice glow to the skin. And the coverage that you do get will last. So I've finished putting on the foundation. You can see it's a very light coverage. You can see all my freckles on my face. But you can also see that it did cover some of the imperfections, kind of blurred the skin tone, and it has a super good glow, like a very sheeny but not too sticky texture to it. Okay, now we're gonna go into concealer, and I'm going to use Shape Tape. This is, Tarte Shape Tape is super high coverage and can look super cakey. So the trick is to use a tiny, 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 tiny bit. So I'm gonna go in with a little tiny beauty blender, and I'm gonna spray this with my travel size Tarte Stay spray. This will help the concealer stay. I've always had a better application of the Tarte Shape Tape when I apply it straight to the beauty blender rather than apply it directly onto the skin. So I'm just gonna put a little bit onto this, and then go in under the eye. I think when you apply the concealer directly onto the skin, it can be too much all in one location. And as you can see, right away when I first start putting it down, it looks a lot lighter than the rest of the foundation. That's on purpose. You want to have a lighter shade for under the eyes to brighten it up. And I also bring that light over here. And you go in really light. You can always build it up, but it's hard to take it off. In humid weather, you're gonna get a little sweaty. You're gonna get a little sticky. So you don't wanna have a lot of product on your face. That's when things are gonna look crazy. Okay, so I finished with the concealer, and putting that on top of the Makeup Forever Water Blend Foundation is going to help it stay in place. I am going to put on some powder on top just to set it, make sure it doesn't crease. And you want to go in with a very light amount of powder, because translucent setting powder, if you put too much, it is going to make things look cakey. So I'm just going to take a tiny bit of translucent setting powder, put that on underneath the eyes. And I get really shiny right over here. I'm gonna put some there. And we will get, right now it looks pretty matte, we will get more shine back as the day goes on, but for right now it's nice and set. And will help it stay in place a lot longer. When I do my foundation, I like to put some on my lips so that later when I put on lipstick or lip liner, I can really show where my lips start and where they end. If I don't put foundation right up, like over top of my lips, the line where my lips begin and where my skin begins is kind of blurry, and I don't think it looks as good. So that's why I kind of look like a ghost right now with foundation color lips. All right, next is eyebrows. And for humid weather, I highly recommend doing, what I like to do is a powder eyebrow instead of anything waxy or melty, since you will be in warmer weather. Okay, so I just filled in my brows off camera, and I used the powder side on the e.l.f. eyebrow kit, and I really like this but you can also use a dark brown eyeshadow or other eyebrow products, but using a powder will kind of help it stay even if you get a little bit sweaty. The Anastasia one is also supposed to be really good at staying put on your face even if you go swimming. It's like waterproof, but for me, I think it's a little too heavy. I don't like the look of it. I'm also going to, just to finish up the brows, I'm going to use some eyebrow gel because I like the look of them brushed up into a feathery eyebrow look. Helps me look more like awake. So I brush them up real crazy, like this. Make them look real crazy. And then I go in with my hand and make them a little bit less crazy. Like that. And I think it actually does make a difference. I really like the Urban Decay Primer Potion, but I don't have that right now. And this is a pretty good alternative, the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Eyeshadow Primer. It's a lot cheaper and it works pretty well. You just definitely don't want to apply too much, or else it looks kind of cakey. One thing that you want to consider when you're doing makeup for a humid climate is just doing something really, really natural. If you go for a lot of eyeshadow, a lot of colors, even like a dark blush color, if you start to sweat, which you will because it's humid, you might be in the tropics, then it's going to be a lot more obvious. So doing things that are more natural so that, first of all, if you wear less product, it will be more likely to stay on your skin. And then also as it fades naturally and you can touch up a lot easier. If you do a whole thing, like lots of colors, lots of dark colors, lots of contour, it's gonna be a lot harder throughout the day to touch up that kind of stuff. So right now I'm gonna go in with bronzer, and this is my favorite bronzer. It's the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Everybody kind of loves this. Just blends out really well. It looks natural. It lasts a long time. And you can see I like to put it kind of like all over. I love it. Alright, so I am going to go in with some blush now, something very natural and long lasting. I'm going to go in with the Amazonian Clay blush in Prim, and I really like this one. I think it works really well with my skin and the way that I want my makeup to look. And again, we're not going in too crazy. Just natural blush. There, just like that. And you know that you're not going too hard if you can still see some freckles, still see some imperfections on the face. Alright, now highlight. I'm gonna go in with some e.l.f. baked highlighter in the shade Moonlight Pearls. On the tops of the cheeks. Cupid's bow. And I'm going to go on the inner corners of the eyes. Just to brighten that up. There's definitely more crazy highlighters out there. This one's pretty natural. But I really like it. Okay, so for the eyes, a lot of times I would just do nothing on the eyes, but I will show you if I did want to put something, I would just go in with some of the bronzer that I have because it's going to be really light. I've got the primer on there so it's not going to crease if I do start to sweat. So I'm just going to take some butter bronzer, put that in the crease just for some definition. And that's all for the eyelids. We're gonna do mascara. And mascara, for me, I'm just gonna wear one that works for me when I'm in a tropical or humid climate. But mascara can really depend on the person, whichever one works for you. I would recommend if you're someone that has eyelashes that whatever product you're using, you have a lot of transfer, or you're either super watery, probably go with a waterproof mascara. I don't have any problems with a non-waterproof. I really like the L'Oreal telescopic mascara. I think it's really nice, really natural. I can wash it off at the end of the day pretty easily, unlike a lot of the waterproof ones, and it's not a problem for me. But if this one does transfer on you, go ahead and use a waterproof one. I think curling your lashes makes a lot of a difference. See? Just curling your lashes. You don't even need mascara. I want to get those magnetic eyelashes. Falsies. Okay. Now the reason why we didn't do any eyeliner or anything extra on the eyes is because the more you do, the more chance you have of it messing up in a humid climate. So because we didn't do any eyeliner on this eyelid, you want to make sure you're getting the mascara way up close to your eyelash, where the eyelashes start. See what I mean? If you don't get mascara all over your face, you're probably not putting it on right. Or you're just way better at makeup than me. One of the two. But make sure you get your mascara all over your lashes. I don't put mascara on my bottom lashes. I think my bottom lashes are pretty dark and long all by themselves. And then I just go ahead and take a Q-tip and clean up any mascara that got all over the place. You want to wait for the mascara to dry. You want to wait for the mascara to dry before you do this, by the way. Or else you're just going to smudge it all over the place. Okay, now we're almost done. Lips. I'm going to take a lip liner. Just a nude lip liner. Take away the foundation lips that we have. I'm going to take a ColourPop lippy stick in the shade Aquarius. And again, my theory on humid makeup is pick something that looks natural and that has some longevity, but it's something that you can touch up throughout the day without it looking horrible. So I don't go for a long-lasting liquid lip because when those start to break down, they don't break down all the way and they look really, really bad, and they're honestly really hard to touch up. So going for something like a cream bullet lipstick might seem like the worst thing to do for this kind of a situation because they do wear off pretty easily, but slapping on some more lipstick is super easy and it's gonna look good as it wears throughout the day. Okay, last step. We're gonna put on some setting spray to help hold all of this into place. So I'm just gonna spray on my travel size Tarte Stay Spray, and it helps everything just stay really well. I do really like the popular Scandinavia makeup finishing spray, but this one I think is a little more oily, so it breaks down the makeup faster. It looks really good, it melts everything together. I would do this more if I had a really powdery or heavier makeup application, but we kept things pretty natural today. So just spray that on. Okay, so this is the finished look, and this is just what I do, and I know that other people out there have other tips and tricks for humid weather. Some people go in with all powder so that it can kind of soak up all the humidity. For me, I'd rather occasionally blot my face and have the products that I like that look good instead of starting the day off looking super matte, super powdery, and then getting greasier and greasier as the day goes on, and also just losing my makeup as the day goes on. This is a kind of look that I do if I'm doing makeup on a more everyday, day-to-day basis, something natural. I can do it a lot faster myself when I'm not filming than it's probably gonna take when you're watching this video. But let me know what you do if you're doing makeup for some kind of tropical or humid weather type thing. If you have any tips and tricks, I would love to hear about it. Thanks for watching. Give me a like if you like this kind of video. As we're expanding, we're seeing what kind of videos people like and which kind of videos people want to watch, and that helps us know. Also subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.